Hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode here on Sunny Side Up Farms. As you can see, the two David Browns are out powering the last field of drilling that we've got, and this one is also going to be wheat, and that should be enough then to look after those chickens. And today the money's gone down a little bit because I've actually bought some more chickens, because I thought, well, we're not going to be producing many eggs with the number that we had, so I decided to buy some more. And I might still buy some more yet, because once we get the spraying and fertilising done in these three fields, we're sort of not going to have much more in the way of money going out, hopefully. So yeah, I thought I'd buy some more chickens. I think we've got about 360 now, so that has increased the number quite a lot. And excuse me, and as I say, I may well a little bit later on increase them again further, so that we get a good build up. Not that I'm trying to sort of fast track where we're at the moment, but we do have to get it started. And in getting started, that means that we need to get some chickens, and then we can slowly build the flock, I guess. I was going to say herd, but that's not right. The flock of chickens up, I guess, or coop, I don't know. But the number, anyway. Anyway, we'll get on with filling of the seed drill, because it's virtually empty. And then, well, as I say, we'll get these filled, and then we'll get on with some drilling, because I've got a feeling that this is probably going to take most of this episode to drill, if not a little bit more. But if it does, I will do the rest of it off camera, just so that it gets done. And then, as I say, we need to get it rolled then, and we'll also need to I lost my train of thought again. We need to get it sprayed, fertilised, rolled, and all of that good stuff. So yeah. Anyway, hope you're all well. Not too bad. It's still still kind of getting used to this this new way of living, if you like. But never mind. Never mind. It's been a bit of a well, I said in the last two episodes this week that it's been a bit new and a bit of a different way to actually sort of live and to sort of get on. But touch wood, everything seems to be going okay at the moment, which is good. So, and as I say, as the weeks and the months pass, hopefully, fingers crossed, we should get back to some sort of normality and some sort of schedule again, which will be amazing. Because I apologise for the fact that there was no videos at the end of last week from Thursday onwards. Obviously I put out the post. Obviously, some people said some very nice and kind things, which I really appreciate, because as I say, last week was a bit but yeah, as I say, hopefully we should now soon get back to there being regular. I've still got quite a few meetings and stuff like that to do, so there may still well be odd days when no videos come out. But as I say, moving on and moving down into the future, I'm hoping that those meetings will start to slow down, and whilst now I don't sort of have all day and all night to record videos, I'm hoping that some sort of schedule will sort of happen again, if you like, and that the videos will then come daily and regular. As I said I think in the last 2 episodes, the Farm Manager is really the only series that I can foresee that will miss out. I may be able to go back to the Farm Manager, but it will have to go as like an episode like this, rather than me sort of patching bits together and making it look like a vlog. I could maybe in the future do that, or I could, if you like, sort of do a new series, or I could use that day as a free day to get all of my other stuff done. So when I should have been recording that, I can kind of sort of get all of the other things done, because as I say, things have just gone mental, and it's very odd. I'm very much a creature of habit, and I love routine, and I love life and my days to be the same every day, like up until sort of taking my little boy full time. Every day by the hour was the same, and I love it. I just love it. There's no surprises. I know what's coming. I know when it's happening. I know, do you know what I mean? And the second that something used to get in the way of that, used to really sort of upset me in terms of mentally, I would find it sort of quite difficult to cope with, and now no 3 minutes are the same. Suddenly it's kind of like everything's different sort of all of the time, and I think as we go a lot further down, I think it's going to become very strange if things do stay the same for any length of time, but it's just a case of sort of trying to get used to it. Like I say, I'm very much someone that I used to like that about work. Work used to be routine. Work used to be, you get there at this time, you do this at this time, this at this time, this happens then, and it was a case of, as I say, I could sort of cope and deal with that, and I was quite happy with that. Not anymore. But so it's as I say, it's a bit all over the place. Was lucky over the weekend. I think it was Saturday. I think it was either Saturday or Friday afternoon after school. I picked my little boy up, and we was coming back from school, and the farm that I used to work on, they were in one of the fields, sort of near the road, and so I stopped, and we walked across, and one of the lads that I used to work with, Gary, not Gary, Shane, sorry, he was ploughing, and so I decided to sort of go across, and my little boy got a ride on the Challenger, and he really enjoyed it, the vent one, because they're nearly all vent now apart from one John Deere. But so he got to have a ride on the vent Challenger, and he was made up for about, I think he's still made up, to be fair. The first thing when we got to school, this morning was, oh miss, I did this, and it's quite nice, to see and hear that. But I sort of, because so when he lived with his mum, tantrums and kicking off was the norm. If that didn't happen, Thomas was not very well, or he was ill. Whereas since he's been with me, I've not had any of that. There are rules in place. He has to repeat the rules. He has to tell me why the rules are there. And he knows why the rules are there, and I have no problem with him sticking to them. and if he breaks one of them, again I get him to repeat the rules, and I get him to again repeat while they're there, why they're there, and then, you know, as I say, no problems whatsoever. And so doing things like that is a nice way for me to be able to reward him, and make him see that actually, you know, following those rules are well worth it. You know, they're well worthwhile. And so, you know, it's good. You know, it's good for him. It's good for me. It makes my life easier. You know, in the mornings when we're getting ready for school and that, you know, no issues. I want, you know, breakfast, right, teeth, dressed, you know, all of that. Yes, Dad, absolutely. Yeah, he's on it. You know, and it's so far it's been straightforward and it's been easy. You know, bedtime, you know, we have a routine. It's the same every night, and yeah, no issues. And he goes to bed a lot later as well, because he was telling me that his mum sent him to bed at 6 o'clock in the evening, and he's 8. I didn't agree with that one, so I said, well, your bedtime's now 8 o'clock in the evening, but you get into bed at 7, and you can watch your tablet for an hour, and then at 8 o'clock, the tablet comes away, and you go down to sleep, and that works a charm, because at 5 to 8, he brings me a tablet and says, here you go, Dad, you know, thank you. And then I say, you know, I'll put it on charge, and I'll make sure that it's ready for you in the morning when you get up. And he's well happy with that, you know, absolutely well happy with that. It works. Anyway, that's enough of home life. Let's get down to some farming, shall we? So yeah, as I say, we're going to get this drilled, and then that's the, you know, the plan for this lesson, for this episode, sorry. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be a fairly quick winter. As I've said before, literally, I mean, any farming that I do, you'll see. So whether that's contracts, whether that, you know, whatever, you'll see that. But in terms of just looking after the chickens, that you know, there's no point in seeing that. You know, there's no content there. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good. So yeah, it's a case of when it comes to the chickens, as I say, I'll do nearly all of it off camera. As I say, just so that we, you know, we do, you know, have a bit of content, and then as I say, any farm, any sort of because the thing is, I probably will do some contracts, and the main reason why I will do some contracts is because we will have nothing to do in the spring, apart from a little bit of spraying. But other than that, we won't have sort of nothing to do, and I'm not going to do hundreds of contracts, because you can very quickly become a millionaire. It's definitely on this map if you do contracts. Don't get me wrong, with this equipment and the size of equipment, we'll have earned it, but you can become a millionaire very quickly. So it's you know, it won't be a case of you know, doing hundreds or, you know, tens of contracts. It'll just be a case of, you know, we'll probably pick one a day or 2 a day or something, or a maximum of 3 a day or something, or 2 a day, you know, whatever. But we'll figure it out, and then we'll go from there. Just so again, it will help us to earn just a little bit of money, just to keep us afloat in the winter, or, you know, in the spring, while we wait for the harvest to come in. And as always, I can't see me mark. Can I see it in the cab? Definitely not. There it is. Right, keep it about there. Drop the drill there. Where's... there we go. Darn mouse. I haven't got a new mouse yet. I will have to get one, but... just very quickly, to go back to what we were talking about, I didn't realise I was going to need £9 million to, you know, kit my little boy out for school. It's like, you know, no wonder his mum used to ask me for, you know, for money towards his uniform and stuff like that. It's like, Jesus, you know. It's like, wow. It's just, and it still isn't ending at the moment. I've still got more stuff, you know, to get and waiting to arrive. So, yeah, boy, do you need to be rich. Never mind. But yeah, so I've actually been doing. I don't normally talk about sort of me personal games and stuff, but have actually got a personal game that, you know, I sort of do in the evenings now on vintage oaks that I'm doing for myself. So what I did was I set the money to minus £1 million. I can only do contracts. I'm only allowed to do 3 contracts a day. Those contracts have to be completed by the end of the day, otherwise they get a financial penalty for it. I'm only allowed to borrow equipment, but obviously because I don't have the money to hire, but in borrowing the equipment, the money that I will get for that contract gets deducted by 50%. It's taken a while, I won't lie to you, it's taken a while to get through, but we are now out of £1 million worth of debt. I think I've been going about 2, maybe 3 years on the game now, and we are now out of debt. We now have a tractor on hired purchase, so we have a tractor, as I say, on hired purchase. Well, we have 2 tractors actually on hire purchase, and the equipment that we need for the equipment that we need for the contracts, I'm now no longer allowed to borrow. I have to hire them myself, and obviously, you know, that comes out of the total money that I earn, because, you know, obviously everything has a higher cost, you know, whether it, you know, an initial cost and then hour and day cost and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm slowly getting there. As I say, I'm hoping that within this week some point, I should hopefully be able to buy my first farm. So the shop are very kind. As long as we hire the stuff from them, and as long as we buy any stuff that we buy, and we buy it from them in terms of vehicles and stuff like that, agricultural vehicles and stuff like that, then they allow me to leave the tractors at the shop overnight. But I'm hoping to get my own farm and my own sheds and stuff like that, and a little house for me to live in as well, which would be really handy, because at the moment we're kind of sort of sleeping, you know, sort of, what do they call it? Is it settee surfing or something, or couch surfing or something? Sofa surfing, that's what they call it, don't they? Yeah, so that's what we're doing at the moment. But yeah, so it's quite an enjoyable game and enjoyable save. And as I say, it's quite difficult, but we are now gradually getting there. And the idea is that eventually I won't need to do contracts, because I'll be able to get my own farm, be able to get eventually my own land, you know, and go from there. So it's a case of, while I'm out on contract, if I come sort of working near a farm or near some sheds, I then, you know, sort of go and find out the price for it on Rightmove, and then think, oh, well, that's a possibility. You know, I only need sort of 2 sheds at the moment, or a shed at the moment, you know. So, but yeah, it's been quite enjoyable. You know, as I say, I've been sort of really enjoying it. You know, obviously, you know, when my little boy goes to bed, I can put it on. You know, so it's really good. But anyway, I'm going to flip it over now to some time lapse, because I've been yakking on too long, and I'll meet you at the end, and discuss what's happened and what we've done. I think you're going to have a pretty good idea of what the conversation's going to be about and about what we've done, but just in case you are in any doubt, we will talk about it further. Is that okay? Anyway, for now, bye for now, and I'll see you at the end of the time lapse. And I'm back. So as you can see, we've very nearly got this field done now, so that's good. I had to put the lights on because I could just about make out my mark, you know, from the bout marker, but I couldn't see the line for where I'd sort of drilled. So I wanted I had to put my lights on to highlight it so that I wasn't overlapping by about 40 foot, you know. So that's the reason why I got my lights on. Just because it's just making it easier to see where I have already drilled and that I'm not sort of majorly overlapping, but just in case you was wondering, that's the reason why. So yeah, as I say, it's gone really well. You know, we've done all right. I think it's fairly straight. It's not as straight as you know it could be, but I don't think it's too far out. I hope not. Anyway, we'll certainly know when the proof will be in the pudding, as they say, when the crop actually grows through. But which will be the next episode when we'll know that, because as I say, we need to get on then with the fertilising and the spraying of the crop. You know, to make sure that obviously we get the best yield that we can, because we're going to need the wheat as obviously for the chickens. But yeah, I think the other thing as well that I'd quite like to do on this map as well, I'd quite like to get the pig farm. I don't know why. I just think eggs and bacon will go really well, you know. I don't know what gives me that idea. And if we have enough pigs, we can have egg, bacon, and sausages. But yeah, no. As I say, that's kind of what I would like to do. Not for that reason. It's just me being a wally. You know, but as I say, I just think I'd quite like to do the pig farm. I quite like pig farming in FS22, to be fair. And you know, again, like everybody else, been watching all of the. Well, I assume everybody else, but maybe not everybody else. But you know, I've been watching all of the videos on FS25. You know, Mr. CDP and Daggerwin and all of them people, and watching their little videos. Don't get me wrong, you know. Many of the videos are the same video that all of the content creators have been sent, but you know, sometimes every now and again, you know, a new video sort of pops up or new footage or whatever, and I have to say, like, you know, I'm super looking forward to FS25. You know, I've already seen a few maps that are currently in you know, sort of programming, if you like, for FS25. I've seen one from Oxygen David, and I've seen one from Farms in Briscoe, who made this map. So that's going to be pretty awesome. The only thing with, you know, with the new game when it first comes out, and this is, you know, I'm just stating fact here. This is not a dig at anyone, but is, you know, we won't have courseplay, we won't have auto drive, we won't have, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, we need those things, you know, straight from the off, you know. I guess in a way, auto drive, Giants kind of tried to implement a similar version to auto drive, but it's not as good, because for the guys that set it up on this map, honestly, awesome job. I would never in a million years be able to set it up as good as this. I was telling you about the game that I play from, like for myself in the evenings, and I was in the field, long way away from the dealership, and as I say, that's where I'm sort of basing my tractors. I was in the middle of a field, and I needed to get back to the dealership, and I literally just put it into auto drive, into the road one, and it from the middle of the field found its way perfectly to you know, to the dealership, and I was just like, wow, you know, I could never do that. So for the guys that did the auto drive for this map, an absolutely awesome job, as well as obviously, you know, the map maker for making an awesome map. I have now seen that there is an update for it, where there is traffic, and also as well, you now cannot do anything to the sacred oak trees, which is good, because I had to restart this YouTube series because I cut down one of the oak trees, and yeah, so I had to start again. But apparently now there is a block on that, so you can't now cut them down or delete them or anything, which is really good for idiots like me that forget. But yeah, so it's good. But you know, those maps are going to be a sort of welcome, because the thing is with the Giants ones, you know, they're good maps. They're very basic. You know, they're straight out of the box and play. You know, Oxygen David maps, I do like his maps. I think they're stunning. I really do think they're stunning. I also think they're a little unplayable because they are so realistic, and they are so, as I say, I mean, they really are stunning, beautiful maps, but because they are so realistic, and every finer you know, it's what I always try and say about this game. You know, on the one hand, we want to play realistically, we want to, you know, do things properly, we want to, you know, do all of that sort of good stuff, but at the same time, when it rains, I don't want to have to sit here for, you know, alright, I know you can speed time up and all that, but if it was too realistic, it would take it away from being a game. And I quite like the game element or aspect to this game. I quite like the fact that Giants kind of, and all the developers of the game, yeah, they build, you know, the proper realistic machinery and sort of all of that in terms of they look authentic, they look good, and all of that. But they've not forgotten that it is a computer game, and this game needs to be accessible by everybody. You know, and having never developed a computer game before, you know, you have to make the game appeal to everyone, because there are an awful lot of players that play this game that know very little about farming, have never been around farms, never been on farms or whatever. And as I say, the game needs to be accessible for those people, and so therefore I think personally, just for me, you know, Giants get the game spot on, mods help, and then, you know, because I've worked on a farm, because, you know, I've been around it ever since I was a really small boy, in terms of, you know, my granddad and my uncle and that all working on the farm, all my uncles working on the farms, and, you know, my nan and, you know, my aunties and stuff like that, you know, my mum as well. I mean, you know, she worked on the farm where the sort of the rest of my family, she was only part-time, so she used to go tay picking in the autumn with the baskets. You know, the good old-fashioned way, with the baskets and stuff like that, and so I've been around farming all my life, and I just sort of think it's down to what I know and my imagination to make the game as realistic as it is. But for everyone else that doesn't want that wants to play with a combine that can hold 10 million litres and has a 190 foot cut, you know, the game should also be just as available for them, you know, and I personally don't have an issue with that, you know, each to their own, and you know, sort of all of that, you know, and what we'll do is we'll just move these over here, I'll move them back to the farm in a while. But yeah, so I don't know whether that comes up on excuse me, on the actual video, or whether that's just on my screen. I'm hoping it's just on my screen, but I've just been given the memory warning. I did have a look this morning before I started recording, and I saw that I only had 11 gig left, so I don't know why, but for some reason I've developed hiccups. And I don't know about you, but I find hiccups hilarious. I don't know why they make me laugh, honestly. But yeah, so I'm unfortunately going to have to end the video here today because I've just been given the memory warning. And what will happen is that the video will just automatically shut off. So as I say, I was hoping I was going to get to the end of this field with you all. I can't see the mark. No, oh, there it is. It's directly in front of me. Look. Yeah. So, but we've only got a little tiny bit left to do now. We haven't got very much to do now. We've got about another 4 or 5 breeds, I would say, and then the field is done anyway. And then off camera, I'll get it rolled. And then the next time I come in for the episode. For the next episode, the crops will have grown and we'll start spraying them. We're going to need to put some row crops on one of the tractors. Well, not this time of year, but for the spring work and any summer spraying that we have, we're going to need to. But yeah, so hopefully you've all enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe if you haven't done already. And share the videos wherever. I noticed yesterday when I was just looking through on my tablet that my shares have gone up, as in people sharing the videos, and the channel, have gone up immensely over the last sort of week, which is fantastic. We've had a really good week for subscribers, which has surprised me because the one thing that I was really worried about with all of the things that have happened over the last sort of, week, week and a half, whatever, was that I would lose lots of subscribers because I wasn't posting videos every day, because I wasn't, sort of conforming to my side of the deal, if you like. But I haven't, and people have still been subscribing, and I'm really, really grateful that you guys are supporting me so well. In terms of, as you know, I was saving for a new computer. In terms of that's got to go. I sort of need, sort of what little money I get, for food. I need it for, obviously clothing. And as well, this week I received a letter in the post, and I really shouldn't be, sort of saying this on my YouTube channel, but just so that people do, because there's a really big misconception out there that people on benefits are living the life of Riley and have, hundreds of thousands of pounds or tens of thousands of pounds, and it's not the case. And this week I've been told that half of the money that I get will now be given to me in vouchers, where the government will control where I spend those vouchers so that they get the money back. And the money that they're taking from me and turning into vouchers was the money that I was using to put diesel in my car and to spend on food each month. And I can no longer do that now. And with the vouchers, I'm only allowed to spend so much of those vouchers a week, and what I'm allowed to spend a week is not enough to cover my food. So that's the situation where I'm at the moment. So all the money that I'd sort of put aside, and it wasn't a great deal, it was probably getting on for about £800 that I'd put aside, saving up for a new computer so I could have more memory, bigger, better graphics card, just better computers for, for doing videos on, and for eventually live streaming and stuff like that. I've had to buy, my son's school uniforms. I've had to, it's endless. And then, as I say, I got that letter through the post this week, and half of what I get is going into vouchers, and I'm also going to be losing roughly about just over £300 a month in benefits that they're now taking away from people. So I have no idea how I'm going to, sort of survive and get through. But anyway, that's my problem, not yours. But You know, as I've said before, you know, good, bad, the ugly, whatever. I like to keep you all sort of, you know, up to date. You know, and tell you about me, tell you about my life, tell you, you know, the funny things that happen, the bad things that happen, the serious things that happen. You know, sort of just give you it warts and all. You know, and I just think it helps you guys to connect a little bit more with me, but in time it will help me to connect more, you know, with you guys, and it will be, you know, a really, really, I'm hoping, you know, sort of nice community. Anyway, I've just been given my last warning in the corner of my screen. So, as I say, hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, and share. It all really does help. And all that's left for me to say is thanks ever so much for joining me on this episode. I've really enjoyed having your company, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.